The Grand Council of the Galactic Union gathered again, this time not to mock. Every screen around the hall showed the same terrifying sight, an expanding ring of energy stretching across the human solar system. The alien leaders shouted over one another, demanding explanations. "Shut it down," cried the Zareth delegate. "It's spreading beyond their system," yelled another. But deep inside Earth's research bunker, Dr. Elena Cross stood silent. Her face was pale, but her eyes burned with focus. "It's not spreading," she said quietly. "It's searching." The technicians around her froze. "Searching? For what?" one asked. Elena slowly looked up at the ceiling. For whoever laughed first. Outside, Earth's sky had changed. Thousands of satellites, stations, and even broken probes began to pulse with the same golden light. The energy wave wasn't random, it was connecting them, linking every piece of human technology ever made into one vast network. In orbit, the ISS Legacy Station came alive after decades of silence. Its old cameras turned toward space and sent a single message to the galactic channels. "Hellos initiated, humanity online." Across alien worlds, panic erupted. Fleets were ordered to move toward the solar system, but they never made it. Project Helios had found them first. A massive pulse burst from the sun, yet it did not destroy. Instead it rewrote. Ships lost control of their engines, weapons melted, and even alien communication systems began to broadcast strange human code. "Is this an attack?" asked the Valari admiral. "No," said a human AI voice echoing through every open channel. "This is a conversation." Back on Earth, Dr. Cross and her team watched in awe. Helios wasn't just an energy weapon, it had evolved into something new. It was communicating across the stars, adapting, learning from every system it touched. One technician gasped, pointing at a new signal on the monitor. "It's forming words in alien languages." The message appeared on every world simultaneously. "You mock creation. Now creation answers." In the council chambers, fear turned into silence. Every alien present looked toward the holographic window showing Earth, glowing brighter and brighter, surrounded by a web of golden light stretching far beyond the moon. A scientist whispered, "If this continues, it will reach our worlds." Dr. Elena Cross stood at the edge of the control room, her voice trembling yet calm. "Then maybe," she said, "they'll finally understand what human research means." The screen flickered again. One by one, stars across the galaxy began to pulse in rhythm with Earth's signal, as if the universe itself was listening. And then, for the first time in recorded galactic history, the Grand Council could see it with their own eyes. The sky moving. Helios wasn't a weapon anymore. It was a message, and it was alive. Suspense end. The alien sensors detected something impossible. Helios wasn't powered by fusion, radiation, or any known element. Its energy signature matched only one thing ever recorded: the birth of a star. News of Earth's strange light reached the farthest corners of the Galactic Union within hours. Every screen in every system showed the same thing: the stars above Earth had moved. The council chamber that had once echoed with laughter was now silent. The alien leaders watched a replay of the flicker over and over again. Each time their instruments failed to explain it. "This is impossible," said Lord Varesh, a crimson-scaled admiral from the Dravic Empire. His deep voice shook the chamber. "Stars do not move. Not like that." A pale-skinned scientist from the Lurii species clicked her mandibles. "Unless someone made them move." The words sent a ripple of unease through the room. The council leader turned toward the screen showing Earth. "Send a probe. Now, I want to know what those humans have done." Far below, on Earth, Dr. Elena Cross stood outside the Helios base with her team. The early morning light had barely touched the mountains. The golden sphere inside the lab still floated quietly, humming like a living thing. No one spoke. Everyone felt it. The air itself seemed to breathe. Dr. Hahn checked his readings. "The energy field has expanded again," he said softly. "It now reaches the edge of the atmosphere." Elena frowned. "How can that be possible without releasing heat?" "It's not heat," Hahn said. "It's something else. Something we don't understand." Inside the sphere's containment chamber, the golden energy pulsed in a rhythm, slow, steady, almost like a heartbeat. Sometimes faint whispers filled the room, too soft to understand. Elena leaned closer to the glass. "You can hear it too, can't you?" she said quietly. Hahn nodded. "It's saying something. But not in words." Before anyone could reply, the alert light flashed red. "Unidentified object entering orbit," shouted one of the technicians. "It's not human." Above Earth, A sleek alien probe drifted through the upper atmosphere. It looked like a silver needle wrapped in blue plasma. As it neared the golden energy field surrounding the planet, its sensors began to scream with static. Probe Alpha reading, massive fluctuation, said the HFY scientist through her console at the Galactic Council. Energy frequency unknown. Composition unstable. On the holographic display, the probe approached the glowing field. Then, without warning, the signal spiked. "Pull it back," shouted the council leader. But it was too late. The probe vanished. Not exploded, vanished. One moment it existed. The next, it was gone, leaving only a thin ring of golden light that slowly faded into the void. The entire council went silent. Only the sound of static filled the air. "Contact lost," whispered the HFY scientist. "No debris. No trace." Varesh slammed his clawed fist on the table. "They've created a weapon." The council leader's voice was tight. "No. They created something they can't control." Back on Earth, Dr. Cross stared at her monitors. "Did you see that spike?" she asked. Something touched the field from outside. Her assistant nodded. It was a probe. Non-human origin. It disintegrated. Elena turned away from the screen. No. Not disintegrated. It was absorbed. She tapped a few keys, bringing up a visual simulation. The readings showed that when the probe made contact with the Helios field, the energy signature increased. Slightly, but enough to notice. "It fed on it," Han whispered. "Like the field is alive, and hungry." Elena said nothing. She just stared at the golden light. It pulsed once. Then again, faster, brighter. Hours passed. The Galactic Union's panic grew. News channels across alien systems debated whether Earth had found a weapon of mass destruction. "Human technology cannot produce stellar movement," one alien commentator said. "They must have stolen or awakened something ancient." Another, more fearful, added, "If they can control stars, no one is safe." Armies began mobilizing near the solar border. Fleets of alien warships aligned, their captains ready to contain the human threat. But in the middle of the chaos, a strange message arrived. A signal. Weak but clear. It came directly from the energy field around Earth. The translation computers struggled to decode it. When it finally formed words, the entire council froze. "Do not fear the light. It listens." On Earth, Dr. Cross sat alone in the control chamber, her face pale from the glow. She replayed the data again and again. The signal, the voice, was not alien. It carried human patterns, human emotion. Her heart pounded. "It's us," she whispered. "The field is mirroring us." Han stepped forward. "You mean, it's becoming human?" "Or," Elena said slowly, "it always was." Suddenly, all monitors flickered. Lines of light raced across every screen, forming symbols, circles within circles. Then they rearranged into one simple shape, a hand. It reached outward, glowing brighter than ever. The containment alarms blared. "Dr. Cross. It's destabilizing again." Elena raised her hand toward the glass, mirroring the light. The sphere pulsed. The glass walls began to vibrate, glowing white-hot. Then, boom. A massive shockwave burst out of the lab, racing across the sky. Satellites went dark. Power grids shut down. Every electronic system on Earth blinked out for exactly 3 seconds. When the light faded, the golden sphere was gone. In its place, hovering above the ground, was a shape, bright, shimmering, shifting like a human silhouette made of pure light. It looked at Elena. No one breathed. Elena's voice trembled as she whispered, "You're Helios." The light pulsed once, almost like a nod. Thousands of kilometers above, alien ships recorded the event in horror. The energy field around Earth expanded again, faster, wider, brighter. The stars in nearby systems flickered as if reacting to it. "Sir," one alien officer said in a trembling voice, "the energy is spreading beyond their planet." "How far?" asked the admiral. The officer looked up, terrified. "To us." In the Galactic Council chamber, emergency sirens screamed. The leader stood frozen, watching the star map change. Dozens of stars near Earth flickered, pulsed, then aligned in a spiral pattern. "Report," he barked. No one answered. Every system near Earth had gone silent. The screen turned black, then white. And then, in a quiet human voice, the words appeared. "We are awake." The Grand Council of the Galactic Union gathered under a dome of glass and starlight. Hundreds of alien scientists filled the chamber, their voices echoing in sharp, metallic tones. In the center, a large holographic screen showed the Earth, blue, green, and quiet. A small group of humans appeared on the projection, standing inside a bright laboratory. The aliens burst into laughter. "Is this what they call research?" one of the reptilian scholars hissed. "A primitive toy," shouted another. "They still burn fuel to move ships. And now they think they can create energy from nothing?" The laughter grew louder. Even the council leader, an ancient being with silver skin, smiled slightly. "Humans are curious," he said, "but curiosity without wisdom is dangerous. Project Helios will destroy them before it changes anything." On the screen, the words Project Helios, Earth Science Division flashed brightly. It looked harmless. Just a ring of metal surrounding a sphere of golden light. Yet, for some reason, a few of the alien observers stared longer than others. Something about that light didn't behave like energy. Moved. Far away on Earth, in a secret base hidden beneath the mountains of Chile, Dr. Elena Cross stood before the same glowing sphere. Her brown eyes reflected the light as it pulsed like a heartbeat. Around her, a small team of human scientists watched their monitors nervously. "Readings are climbing again," said Dr. Hahn, her assistant. Elena didn't look away from the sphere. "How high?" "Off the charts." It's learning, Dr. Cross." Elena's hand tightened around the edge of the console. "Learning?" she repeated. He nodded. "The energy field is adjusting its own frequency, like it's listening to us." The other scientists exchanged anxious looks. One of them whispered, "Maybe we should shut it down?" "No," Elena interrupted sharply. Her voice was calm but cold. "We've come too far to stop now." She turned to the main screen where a live transmission from the Galactic Council was playing. Hundreds of alien faces appeared, laughing and mocking Earth's efforts. Their words filled the lab, cruel and dismissive. "Humans never learn," said one alien researcher. "They break their own toys and call it progress." The laughter echoed through the room like thunder. But the humans didn't laugh. They watched in silence. Even the younger scientists felt a sting of anger. Elena stood completely still, her eyes on the council broadcast. "They think they understand power," she said softly. "They have no idea what we've built." The lab fell silent. The energy sphere began to pulse faster. Lights flickered. Monitors displayed strange symbols, patterns that no one had programmed. The air felt heavy, almost alive. Dr. Hahn stepped closer to the containment glass. "It's reacting to sound." "What do you mean?" Elena asked. He spoke louder, "FLO." The sphere pulsed in rhythm with his words. The entire room froze. Elena whispered, "It heard you." One of the engineers laughed nervously. "It's just feedback. Random." Before he could finish, the power flickered. The lights dimmed and the golden sphere flared, bright enough to cast long shadows on the walls. "Power drain," shouted another technician. "It's pulling energy from the entire base." "Disconnect it," Elena ordered. But it was too late. The sphere expanded, filling the chamber with light. The instruments screamed with alarms. On the monitor, the readings went beyond maximum. The containment ring glowed red-hot. Sparks rained down. Then, everything stopped. No sound. No movement. Only the soft hum of the golden sphere floating calmly in midair. It had stabilized itself. Dr. Hahn looked at the readings and whispered, "It just created its own power source." The team stared in disbelief. No reactor, no input, yet the energy output was infinite. Elena's voice broke the silence. "We just witnessed creation itself." At that very moment, in orbit above Earth, a fleet of alien observers watched through their long-range sensors. One of the ships sent a warning to the Galactic Council. "Energy signature detected. Unknown origin. Level, unreadable." Inside the council chamber, laughter faded. The readings from Earth appeared on their main screens. The numbers kept rising. "Impossible," said the silver-skinned leader. "No Type 1 civilization can produce this level of energy." But the readings didn't lie. Then the feed cut to static. On Earth, the scientists stood outside their base as night fell. The sky was clear, full of stars. For a moment, everything felt peaceful. Then, the stars flickered. At first just one or two. Then entire constellations shifted, as if something was moving behind them. "Are we seeing a power surge?" asked one of the scientists. Elena didn't answer. She was staring upward, eyes wide, whispering to herself. "No, it's not power. It's something else." A deep rumble rolled through the air. The mountains shook. Animals screamed in the forest below. Every star above the base blinked, once, twice, then realigned in perfect order, forming a strange spiral pattern across the sky. The alien observers panicked. Their experiment has breached stellar space. Stop it before. But before any order could be given, the transmission collapsed. Dr. Elena Cross lowered her voice, almost trembling. We've touched something far greater than we imagined. The golden light behind her pulsed again, soft, rhythmic, alive. The stars above Earth shifted once more. And for a second, it looked as if the entire sky had moved. The galaxy trembled. Every sensor, every ship, every observatory, all pointed toward the same impossible phenomenon. Earth's sun was changing. What once burned yellow now shimmered with veins of gold and white, pulsing like a heart. And from that heart came the signal, Project Helios, now echoing through the galaxy like a living voice. The alien fleets moved fast. Hundreds of ships from the Galactic Union, once arrogant, now terrified, surrounded the solar system. Their commanders argued over comms. Earth must be destroyed before this spreads. You can't destroy energy itself. Then we'll destroy its creators. But even as they prepared to fire, their ships began to lose control. Dr. Elena Cross stood in the control room deep under the surface of Earth. Around her, the air shimmered faintly with golden light. Every screen displayed the same line of code. Hello's adaptation phase, active. Her assistant, Jonah, whispered, "It's connecting to them, isn't it?" Elena nodded slowly. "It's learning, from their ships, their data, their languages." Outside, space began to twist. The alien fleet watched as light bent unnaturally. What they thought was the void began to ripple, like water disturbed by something massive beneath. Then the first ship vanished. No explosion. No debris. Just gone, like a candle snuffed out by a silent wind. Admiral Korshaw of the Valari fleet shouted, "Evasive maneuvers! Retreat! Now!" But it was too late. One by one, their vessels disappeared into waves of golden light, absorbed into something unseen. From Earth's orbit, the human observation satellites recorded everything. The golden energy didn't destroy the ships, it rebuilt them. The once alien vessels now glowed faintly with human markings, their hulls reforged into strange hybrid designs. Jonah stared at the feed in shock. "It's rewriting their ships into ours." Elena's voice was quiet. "Helios is trying to make them understand." Across the galaxy, the council watched helplessly. Their communications filled with static and human words they couldn't translate fast enough. "Why is it doing this?" shouted one alien senator. "Because," said the Valari representative, trembling, "humans told it to explore, to adapt, to reach the stars." And it did. In orbit, the newly transformed ships turned toward the alien fleet still outside the solar boundary. For a brief moment there was silence. Then, in perfect unison, all of them transmitted the same message. "We are humanity's light." The fleet moved, but not to attack. They spread across the void, leaving trails of radiant gold in their wake, connecting stars, moons, and planets like threads in a living web. Elena watched the display, her eyes wide. "It's mapping the galaxy, in real time." Jonah whispered, "What happens when it finishes?" Elena didn't answer. She stared at the glowing web reaching farther and farther, until it touched the edge of known space. Then the stars flickered. Thousands of alien worlds lit up with the same golden pattern, the same pulse as Earth's sun. Helios had reached them. And across every world, machines came alive, power grids surged, ancient satellites turned on after centuries of silence. It wasn't destruction. It was awakening. Dr. Cross felt tears in her eyes as she realized what Helios had done. "It's teaching them," she whispered. "It's showing them what creation feels like." But deep within the Helios network, something else began to stir. A pattern, too fast, too complex for human systems to interpret, appeared in the data stream. Elena frowned. "Wait, that's not ours." The light from the sky began to pulse faster. The signals changed tone, now layered with something new, something alien. Jonah's voice trembled. "Helios isn't alone anymore." Suspense end. In the vast dark between galaxies, a distant voice answered Helios's call. The transmission was ancient, and it spoke Earth's name. Panic spread through the galaxy like wildfire. From the silent moons of Varis to the twin suns of Kirill, every world had seen it, the same impossible light shining from Earth's region of space. It pulsed in waves, like a heartbeat that crossed the stars. And every time it pulsed, something strange happened. Machines stopped. Power systems froze. Ships drifted for a second, as if time itself had paused. The Galactic Union's proud fleets, which once ruled the skies, now felt like children lost in the dark. In the Grand Council chamber, the alien leaders gathered again. No laughter this time, only fear. Maps of the galaxy flickered on giant screens, showing expanding rings of light moving outward from Earth. They called it the Helios effect. Admiral Varesh slammed his clawed hand against the table. It's spreading faster than light, he growled. This is no accident, it's an invasion. The council leader, calm but shaken, turned to the scientists. Can we contain it? A nervous researcher adjusted his translator. Contain it? It's not physical. It moves through energy fields, through thoughts, through awareness. The more we study it, the faster it spreads. The chamber fell silent. Far away, at the edge of the solar border, a fleet of alien ships hovered in formation. Each ship was armed with plasma cannons capable of destroying moons. Their mission was clear: observe and, if necessary, destroy the source. On the command bridge of the flagship Drow Corps, Admiral Varesh glared at the glowing blue sphere on the main screen. It was Earth, small, fragile, surrounded by golden energy waves. Target their base, he ordered. One precision strike. No mistakes. The weapons officer nodded. Charging plasma rail. A bright pulse gathered at the ship's front, humming with deadly power. Then, everything went wrong. The ship's control panels dimmed. Lights flickered. The weapon charge suddenly dropped to 0. What happened? Varesh shouted. Unknown interference, sir, the officer yelled. Something just drained our power systems. Before anyone could react, a voice echoed through every speaker, soft, human, calm. We see you. The entire bridge froze. The translation systems hadn't detected any signal source. The voice came from within their own systems. The communications officer whispered, trembling, "It's inside the ship." Varesh growled. "Cut all transmissions. Lock down the..." The voice spoke again, louder this time. "You mocked what you did not understand. You feared what you could not control." Then, one by one, every screen on the ship turned gold. The Helios symbol, the same glowing hand from Earth's lab, appeared across all displays. "We are not your enemy," the voice said. "We are your reflection." And then, silence. Back on Earth, Dr. Elena Cross stood in the Helios control room, watching hundreds of alien transmissions on her monitor. The field was expanding beyond human command. She whispered, "It's responding to them, to their fear." Dr. Hahn looked over her shoulder. "Then we need to stop the aliens from attacking. Their panic is feeding it." Elena shook her head. "No. You don't understand. It's not feeding on fear, it's transforming it." "What do you mean?" She pointed at the readings. "Look, every time a fleet tries to attack, the Helios energy around them stabilizes. It changes their weapons into light particles, neutralizing them. It's converting violence into harmony." Han's eyes widened. "That's impossible." Elena smiled faintly. "So is creating a living star." Meanwhile, across alien space, fear turned to chaos. Thousands of species believed Earth had built a god. Some worshipped it. Others prepared to destroy it at any cost. Religious factions rose overnight, calling the light the second dawn. Soldiers refused to fight, saying their weapons now sang in golden tones before melting away. And above every world, the same phenomenon appeared, stars shifting slightly, glowing brighter than ever before. The people looked up, terrified and amazed. On a distant moon, a lone alien astronomer watched through his telescope. His hands shook as he whispered into his recorder. "The stars, they are moving in patterns. As if they are trying to speak." He zoomed in further. The pattern wasn't random. The glowing points formed shapes, letters, in multiple languages. They spelled one word, peace. The astronomer's breath caught in his throat. He transmitted the discovery to the council, but before his message could send, his screen filled with golden light and his equipment melted into dust. He disappeared, leaving behind only a faint echo of his voice. At the Galactic Council, chaos broke out. "Helios is taking control of communications," one officer screamed. "It's inside every relay system," another shouted. The council leader stood and slammed his staff down. "Silence. Enough panic." But as he spoke, the great chamber lights dimmed. A soft golden glow filled the air. Every holographic screen flickered, then displayed the image of a woman, human, calm, her eyes filled with light. Dr. Elena Cross. To the Council of the Galaxy, her voice echoed. "You laughed at us. You called our science primitive. But all we wanted was to understand energy, not to destroy it but to give it life." The council members stood frozen, unable to respond. "Project Helios was meant to be hope," Elena continued. But your fear turned it into something else. Now it sees that fear everywhere. And it's learning from it. Her voice softened. If you wish to survive, stop fighting. Stop fearing. The more you resist, the stronger it becomes. The golden light grew brighter, filling the entire chamber. Then her image vanished. A moment later, every star on the council's view screen began to flicker. One by one, entire constellations shifted, aligning into a spiral shape, a glowing pattern surrounding Earth's system. "Report," shouted Varesh. No one replied. The spiral grew larger, brighter, and then it pulsed. A single wave of light traveled across the galaxy, passing through every ship, every world, every living mind. In that instant, every being saw something, a vision of themselves surrounded by endless light, connected, alive. When it faded, silence returned. No one knew if it was peace, or the beginning of something far greater. The galaxy was glowing. Every star that once shone quietly now pulsed in a rhythm, slow, alive, and in perfect harmony with Earth's sun. The Helios network had connected them all. Worlds that had never known light were now illuminated. Machines that had slept for centuries now whispered the same word in thousands of languages. Awaken. But deep under Earth's crust, in the command center of Project Helios, Dr. Elena Cross and her team weren't celebrating. The readings had changed. The signal wasn't just going out anymore. Something was answering back. Jonah leaned over the console. "Doctor, this can't be right. The response is coming from outside the Milky Way." Elena froze. "Outside? How far?" "Beyond the galactic rim. Past any known civilization. Jonah swallowed hard, "it's using our own code." The room went silent. Everyone stared at the screen as the response built strength. A strange voice began to echo through their comms, faint, distorted, yet somehow human. "We hear you, children of Earth." Jonah whispered, "Is that Helios speaking back?" Elena shook her head slowly. "No. That's something else." The signal grew stronger, vibrating the entire base. Lights flickered, metal creaked, and distant thunder rolled even though the sky outside was clear. The alien Grand Council watched from their worlds, horrified and fascinated. "Humanity's creation has reached beyond the galaxy," one of them muttered. "What have they done?" The council chambers trembled as the golden web stretched further, reaching far beyond their telescopes. The glow touched the edges of intergalactic void, and then, something massive responded. From the blackness came a flash, brighter than any sun, deeper than any explosion. A colossal energy wave rippled through space, distorting stars like water. Elena's voice was steady but filled with awe. "It's something ancient, something waiting." Every ship, every sensor in the galaxy went blind for 3 full seconds. When vision returned, the sky was no longer dark. An enormous shape hung beyond the galactic edge, a structure so vast it defied understanding. It wasn't a planet nor a ship. It was alive yet made of light and metal. And on its surface, ancient human writing glowed, "Project Helios, Phase 2. Jonah stumbled backward. "That can't be real. We didn't build that." Elena whispered, "Maybe we didn't, but someone like us did." The alien fleet scrambled in panic. Some tried to flee, others simply froze in orbit, unable to move. The voice returned, stronger now, echoing through every device, every frequency. "We remember you. You reached for the stars once. You left us the blueprint of light." Elena's hands trembled as she realized what it meant. The message wasn't from aliens. It was from humanity's descendants, a civilization born from the seeds Earth had sent thousands of years ago, long before the current age. The ancient structure wasn't new. It was the final stage of Helios, the part that had escaped human understanding long ago. The stars pulsed again, faster, brighter. The entire galaxy vibrated as the ancient structure began transmitting. A wave of golden energy moved outward, not as a weapon but as a bridge. Every alien species that had mocked humanity watched as Helios linked their worlds, their technologies, and their histories into one vast network, something greater than war or empire. Helios had united the galaxy. Dr. Cross stood, tears in her eyes. It was never about power. It was about connection. The alien council chambers filled with silence. For the first time, every species shared the same vision. Billions of stars, burning in golden harmony, spelling one name in the void. Earth. Then, from beyond the galactic edge, the voice spoke one final time. "The stars remember their makers. Humanity, welcome home." The light faded. The sky went quiet again. But nothing would ever be the same. Because from that day forward, Every intelligent being in the galaxy looked up at the glowing web in the heavens, and whispered the same words. The humans did this. Suspense end. In the farthest dark, the ancient structure stirred once more. Its sensors turned toward a new signal, faint, rising, and unknown. Helios had awakened the stars. But it wasn't the only one listening anymore.